So turn down the lights, lock the door. It's time for DJs After Dark.
Hello, everybody. The lights are low. The gig is over. You're listening to DJs After Dark. My name is Danny J.
Hello,
I'm joined by
Rob Cannon.
And we have
Special guest.
We have Fast Eddie C. Eddie.
Hey! What's going on, Dan? How you doing?
And
all right,
in case anybody feels a little sick, a little ill, we have the doctors in the house. Dr. Rob.
Doctor.
Oh my God, where did they
A
find
legend.
me at?
A legend.
That's so cool, man.
Blast
Good
from
to
the
see
past.
everybody again. Great to see you guys.
All right, very good. Thanks for joining us here on DJs After Dark. Make sure you join us on YouTube. You can go to DJB Productions. You'll see a silver head with headphones. That's how you know which one to go to. Subscribe. Check it out right there. You also see what its sister show, That Way Cool Wrestling Show, which is on there as well as multiple podcast formats.
If they don't subscribe, can they still hear?
They can hear it by going on to the different podcast formats. They can still hear it, but I'd prefer you subscribe so that way every time we drop a new show, you'll be well informed.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Comes out. You see how that works?
I never knew.
You never knew.
So,
yeah. It's very good.
Pop.
Rob's been educated today.
I'm educated. Educated.
So how everybody's doing? How's everybody doing?
Doing good. Just got done doing a job.
Nice.
Exhausting.
Nice.
Tired.
Eddie, you look well rested.
I took Eddie with me on the job.
Yeah.
He's doing about as much now as he did on the job, I said.
Absolutely nothing.
Yes. I said, Ed,
nothing.
Ed, can you hand me that clipboard? He's like, huh?
Come on, I gotta get up out of my seat.
Yeah, you believe it?
Yeah. And doctor's in the house.
Hey guys, it's great to see you. Great to see you all. It's been a long time.
I saw him at Wawa.
It's thrilled to be back here again.
Just pulled him into the studio.
I did. I said, yo, Doc, we're going to record after this. You want to come? And he goes, my wife wants me home. She needs milk.
You know,
now I got news for you. I was with the wife
this
this morning, and I said, boy, I got to leave. I got some recording to do, so it's another day I can't get her dressed up like Supergirl in the TV series.
Wawa's the unofficial meeting place for all DJs.
Yeah, especially anytime after 2 o'clock. Who are you going to bump into
it's
there?
It's a staple, that place.
Let's all celebrate Hoagie Fest. Yeah.
Hey, $2, $3, $4.
There you go. They're not.
Is Wawa sponsoring this?
You would think they are, but they're not. I'm not
$2
a dime.
Don't even look at me that way. Cool. All right, cool.
So, you know what? I was thinking about something. I was on Facebook and I was looking around. And you ever see when you see somebody nowadays? We're all a little bit in our advanced age. I'm the youngest of this group, but we're up in our advanced ages.
He is.
I am the
baby.
Wow. Of this group, but you ever notice when the old term "babies having babies"? When we see the young kids having kids and stuff like that. What I noticed was, whenever you have someone that has a baby, and then shortly after the baby's born, they break up for whatever reason. They figure out that this just is not working out, and then they move on.
We've all been there, I think.
Not me.
No, Eddie.
Not
Eddie.
No, I'm married for 38.
Eddie,
great.
I'm talking about
Eddie did that with dogs, but then the dogs left the house.
Yeah, hey, listen, they're gone. I had one flee out the door the other day.
There you go. See, their dogs are...
I'm too old to be chasing after them.
Eddie's dogs are trying to get out of there.
Get me out of here!
But my point was being that you ever see where you start to see the mom move on, and it's shortly after having the baby. The baby's young, and you start seeing them having pictures done and portraits. And it's not so much that I'm dating this guy or whatever, but it's now they're doing family portraits with the thing. I was thinking myself, as the baby's father,
right?
Would I feel a certain way? Should I feel a certain way? The baby daddy?
Baby daddy.
Should I feel a certain way? Now, when you use the term baby daddy, sometimes that could lead you one way or the other. And I don't want people to think that we're talking about someone that has nothing to do with their kid. I'm saying young kids having kids, they don't work out together. So the father is still much involved in the baby's life because the baby's only maybe a year old or something like that from what I'm seeing on pictures. But she's now having... I'm not giving names or anything like that, but they have pictures like actual pictures, like family pictures done with the new boy. What do you think about that? Do you think it's I always grew up where it's people were when they were with somebody new that wasn't the father, they took a long time before they introduced the kids into that and stuff like that. And I'm seeing a child that's now has a picture with some other guy. Here. And how would you feel if you were the dad? Rob, how would you feel?
How would you feel, Rob?
You have
I have a lot of kids.
Practically has a football team now.
Yeah, so
He has a full baseball team. Mine has a couple more.
Yeah, really.
I mean, my ex now has a boyfriend, and there's been pictures. I don't care.
Yeah, but here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. Your ex now, although she's around the same age that I'm talking about, which is these young people. but
That ain't right, isn't it?
but
God, what made him a legend?
but I'm not saying. But she's
Just
much
because
older, though.
my
I'm
ex
saying.
is 21, man, don't mean nothing.
But I'm saying, But I'm
We're
saying.
kidding.
But you know what I mean. But I'm saying, taking the fact that kids that are practically haven't lived yet. Now, I'm not going to knock anybody who has a kid early, young, or whatever. I mean, I know people where the mom looks better than the son's girlfriend. That from DJ, and I see that kind of thing. So I mean, that happens. But in the sense of not as an adult, someone that's now in their 30s. I'm talking about someone in their 20s. They're kids themselves, and they have a baby. And the boyfriend doesn't work out because it seems like that's like a now thing. Let's have babies and then decide if we want to get married eventually. I don't know where that came from, but it just seems like to me I'm like, there's two sides to this. Is it responsible to now introduce your child to this new person?
He was thinking about this the
I'm
whole night.
telling you, man.
Oh, he's
I was-
DJing.
I'm
He's
sitting
like
there.
looking at all these young women with kids.
Because I'm trying to put myself in this situation. How's this going to work out if I get divorced?
He's kidding, Chris. Christine's like, excuse me.
No, you know what?
Yeah.
My wife
Laura?
is like, who's this?
Dr. Rock's new friend at work.
Oh,
let me see.
Dr.
pictures.
Rock needs to share his friends list.
Hey, yes.
Eddie's like, could she take care of my dog?
Actually,
You got dog. You
Yeah.
got a dog too.
I
Dan.
do. I have a
Ed,
friend
do your
one.
dog for
It might
for
be, I'm a little too close. It might.
What?
do it back.
I got one for you. You want another dog? Watch.
Go ahead.
There you go. I love it.
Oh my God.
It does. No, but let me explain the dog.
There's a reason why these DJs don't get together all this often.
So
all right?
real quick, not to get off your subject, but
we're good.
when Ed used to come to the clubs back in the day, when I was
day.
DJing, he would do his dog when he would hear a song that he really
Yeah.
liked. Right, Ed? That was usually what.
That's the way it
And then
was.
Ed, how about if there was a train wreck? What did you do?
Oh. I used to look up and the
go,
DJ booth and go, woo, 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 smack it together.
You were one of them. I don't like
Yeah.
you people.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was one of them.
I feel like
Hey, listen though, you would
mind your own damn business.
Yeah.
Hey,
Listen to
listen.
this song.
I was so damn drunk, I didn't know what, I wouldn't be able to tell you if a beat was flying or not. I was just working them over.
I would have thought maybe
He was.
professional shock treatment would have been good for you there, Ed. Though,
Hey, listen.
All right.
Probably right now too. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
really.
I'm all there.
Eddie C.
But you know what,
Yep.
though? I don't know. I just think that these kids, I don't know. I would be getting in fights, personally.
You think?
I think I would be.
What
Well, I
are you
think
talking about?
personally-
If I was the dad,
Oh.
right? If I was the dad, yeah, we're still talking about it.
Okay.
One time.
Okay.
Right.
We got off with these dogs.
There is a subject we
There is
are
a subject
talking
we were
about
talking
today.
about.
Yes, we are.
But I think I don't know. I think if I saw my kid with their mother, and there's some new guy, and they're taking family pictures, and I'm only out of the scene maybe a year, 6 months, something like that. I don't know. I think there would be a throwdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. I'm looking at Ed now, and Ed's like, I'm so
Well, wait.
so
is
much
that if you
beyond
left
those
her
years
or
of.
she left you?
It would-
Or
I don't
wouldn't
think it would
matter?
matter. I don't think it would matter.
I
I don't think it would
think,
matter.
I think first, kudos to the fathers that are out there, and I'm going to get serious with you guys for a second.
Yeah.
Kudos to the fathers that are out there that take care of their kids all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether they're together or whether they're not together, and I saw it firsthand. No matter how bad things get and somebody has a kid together and the father is always there. There's so many guys nowadays that are out there nowadays that don't take the time and the effort with their kids. And I think, first of all, kudos to all the fathers that are out there for their kids. That,
Yes.
that never forget their kids,
Yes.
that always
Don't
take care
ever.
of their kids.
That's
I mean,
correct.
I look at Rob and I made a joke that he has a football team, but I'll tell you one thing about this guy. He was
Yes.
always there for his kids.
Always.
That's
no
true.
matter what
Rob
it
had
was.
so many
Never
kids.
skimped on
You know,
child
Rob
support.
had
Right.
so many
Right.
kids, he changed from names to in numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was telling
Yeah.
Joanne last night, and I don't want to interrupt you guys, but I remember many times that Dr. Rock going out and getting ready for vacation, and my God, we had no spending money, or we had to figure out a way. And I remember working a Friday night, and working a Saturday, and working a triple, and then working a Sunday again. Only because at the end of that week, my kids went, my mom and dad are taking me down the shore, and we might have had $1,400 for spending money that particular 2 weeks we were going down. But it was called being there for your kids and doing everything that you needed to do. So all the moms and dads that are out there taking care of their kids, I salute you.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's right.
there you
That's
go.
right. I mean, it's one of those things where like it almost like it throws up in your face when someone else is sitting there, like because a lot of young kids have pride. And not that we lose our pride as we get older. I think we lose that it's really not as important, certain things, because going with what Rock is saying is that actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
And you can have all the pictures you want. My mother, who God rest her soul, she had a potty mouth. And to say the least,
Yeah,
my mom.
My mom
And-
does too.
and she would curse, and everybody, oh, geez, Jerry, why you gotta curse so much? Always dropping the F-bomb, blah, blah. She said, listen, there are people that go to church every Sunday, never curse a day in their life, and you know what? They find out that they have bodies in their basement.
Exactly right. I know where you're coming
I said-
from.
And I said, really, Ma? Because I was only 8 when she told me that. But I was like, wow. But it's the truth, though. I mean, it's actions speak louder than words, and you're absolutely right. Kudos to all those dads out there. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. There are people that will constantly say, well, let's try and make it work. I've seen that so many times. We have a child, so let's get married. Let's just see if it works. Stuff like that. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's a crapshoot. My thing is to you is before you stick it in, make sure you're doing a full inspection of what's happening. When you're checking out the basement, make sure you go into the attic and make sure.
Apparently with Rob, it used to be pin the tail on the donkey, which was kind of cool. Like somebody spun him around
This is
and
why
led him
Rob
somewhere.
can't do kids parties anymore.
I mean, every week I would come over to pick up my equipment, and he'd be like, "Oh my
Wait a
God, there's
minute.
another child in the living room."
Statement.
Right? And I
Yeah.
think that
But it's I don't know. It's a funny thing. But I mean, Rob, have you ever had to you have so many kids. I don't even. Do you remember which ones you have?
Yes.
Okay. And did that ever happen to you?
What do you mean?
Where you're sitting there and say, yeah, they give maybe some fatherly advice.
My kids? Did I
Yeah.
ever give them fatherly
Well, I'm not
advice?
saying in general. I'm saying in a scenario like this because your kids are a little bit older.
Yeah, and whenever you give kids advice, they never listen, but they'll listen to their friends.
They always will listen to their
Yeah.
friends.
Your kids are a little young
My
though,
kids
for
are
that.
young. My kids
So,
are young,
but
yeah.
Ray will probably vouch
Well,
for
my
that.
kids call me all the time, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of a thing we call poppy talk, because that's what my granddaughter calls me. And whenever my daughter needs like an upbeat little, not a lecture, but a talk, or my granddaughter needs a talk, they call me the fixer at home because there's not a thing I can't fix. So the thing will be like, oh, Dad, what do you think of this? And even my son, who's the lead singer of Split Decision, will call me up sometimes, and he'll say hey, what do I do
didn't
in
know
this
that.
situation?
Ed
Or
did
what
not
do I
know-
do
Ed
in
did not know
that?
that.
What do I do in this situation or that situation? And it's one thing about it. It's really cool that your kids are close enough to you, love you, and respect you enough to call you up and say,
It's true.
what would you do in this situation? So to my wife, Joanne, and I say to myself, Ray, Dr. Rock, whatever, we did okay, because if your kids respect you till this day and call you up and ask you what you think, then we did okay.
Your wife is not calling you.
Let me
Dr.
just
Rock.
say,
can
let
tell
me
you
just
that.
say
Be called
something.
Mrs. Rock whenever we walk into a restaurant.
Yeah, let me
Whenever
just
we
say,
walk into a restaurant, we hear it.
let me just say one thing about what Ray said.
Yes.
I agree, but the funny thing is, my kids will ask me and my wife for advice, but then they go to their other kid. I mean, their other friends.
Right.
And then they ask them.
Because they're kids anyway. Those
But
kids.
believe it
Yeah.
or not, it is in their mind what their parents say. They
Yeah.
may not come out and give you credit for what you said
Yeah,
to them,
yeah.
but they're going to take your advice and put it in the
I-
back of their mind and then compare it when
I
they talk to
personally
their
think
friends.
it's ingrained. You know what my kid said to me? I said, she would come to me and say, Dad, this person did this and this person did that, and I said to her, I said, listen, who the hell cares? It really, what you're fighting about is making me laugh because I'm like, why does does it even come up in a conversation? She said, Dad, I'm not in my 40s. This is what's important to me. She goes, I'm not old like you.
Wait, you're in your 40s?
I'm in my 40s.
I thought you were in your
Honest to
20s,
God,
Dad.
I know. I got a funny story about that. I'll tell you that.
Must
We're
be
going to go
spray
away.
hair
We're
dye or
going
something.
to step away for a second. What we're going to do is we're going to step away for a second. When we come back, we got a little bit of news with Fast Eddie C. And we got more DJs After Dark right after this.
Since 1974, Canon Entertainment has been serving the tri-state area, providing professional musical entertainment to thousands of our customers. Canon Entertainment doesn't just play music, we are professional musical entertainers. We have personality, talent, and each DJ has a minimum of 7 years experience. We are especially trained for events like the one you're planning. We will customize your event to make it everything you want, and we'll give you our many years of experience to make it even more. Don't gamble with your affair. Be sure to choose the best. Canon Entertainment. Check us out on the web at canonentertainment.com. Call us now.
George Anthony.
You can call us at 610-449-8908. We are recording live in the Canon Entertainment studios. I couldn't even talk today.
Yeah.
It's late. It's late night.
You've been drinking.
Canon Entertainment Studios.
I just found out he's in his 40s.
Look at that.
Right. Yeah, I'm shocked.
Ed just found out 2 things. He found out that your son. He did not know that your son was the lead singer for Split Decision.
And Love Split Decision. I just seen him about 2 or 3 weeks ago down at the casino.
That is my son, JT.
And he doesn't know. He doesn't know where his dogs are because they.
Who knows where they're right now?
Do it up,
Ed. So Eddie, you got some news for us.
What do we got, Eddie?
I got some funny stuff. I don't know where to
funny
start.
Stuff.
Okay. All right, well, over in Ireland, Europe, they do all kinds of crazy stuff over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was searching around on the internet here. World records. What do you think? World records. Okay.
Right.
You got 4 guys here talking about whatever. Could be a world record.
I was trying to make a world record. But
what about 2,500 women?
Until she said, get out.
In Ireland, they break the world record for skinny dipping.
Yes.
Yes, they did it for charity, though. It was done for the local cancer society over there. 2,500 women all banded together to break the Guinness World Book of World Records. Look at the pictures. I got pictures. They're all here. I know. Look at Rob. He's ready to jump in. Look.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Can you imagine that?
I will not tell you something about
2,500 naked women?
All shapes and
Dr. Rock's going to some naked
Look,
pictures.
I'm telling you. And here's another one. I can't
I'm
believe
kidding.
this.
No, I don't care.
You got to watch out when you go to a baseball game.
Why is that?
Fly balls.
All right. Well, the Philly fanatic, right? He's the mascot for the Phillies. And they have those big the cannons that shoot out the stuff.
Yes.
Oh, I heard about that.
You heard? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lady got hit by a flying wiener.
Lady took one in the face.
Took one right in the
I
face.
heard
Look at the
about
poor
that.
woman.
Yeah.
And I have a friend of mine who's a real good friend of the Philly
And you know
fanatic,
what? The
and
funny
he's still
thing is-
discussing it with her.
I wonder
You
if
know
they're
what the
going
funny
to
thing
sue.
is? If Rob insisted on his female companions to take it in the face, he wouldn't have as many kids.
That's
Exactly.
Right now.
That's
Right,
true.
right.
That's a good point.
Oh man.
It's the truth.
No, they don't take it at all.
Yeah. One stares too much.
What are you going to do, Rob?
The girls all come up with 2 new words now. Pull out. Pull out.
Pull out.
It's like a U-Haul trailer leaving the driveway. Pull out.
Oh man,
all right?
I'm telling you, crazy stuff. Another guy in Florida.
Yes.
Some things are just too crazy. Guy was pulled over.
For what?
Okay.
Let me see his face. Oh, there you go. It doesn't work for audio.
He looks
but
like
go
a hitman.
Oh, wait until you hear what he did. He got pulled over, right? And he for investigation, he asked the cop why. The guy said, you were driving a little erratic. And he goes, oh yeah, it's probably because of this. He goes, can you do me a favor? Can you check my meth to see if it's good?
What?
Yeah.
He figures he had the right gear.
Is this the dumb criminal one?
This is the dumb criminal. Can you imagine getting pulled over? He says, oh, here, check my meth because I don't think
He
it's
looks
that
like
good.
he's on something.
Bad
People do
boys, bad
stupid
boys. What you gonna do when they come for you?
They do
Bad
stupid
boys,
shit,
bad
man. It's
boys.
that simple. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. People are crazy, man. Just crazy.
What was your first clue, Ed?
What, that he was crazy?
No, the people sometimes can be crazy.
Ed, but more importantly-
I deal with them every and I know they're freaking nuts.
But Ed, more importantly, how good was his meth?
They didn't say because they arrested him and he's in jail now.
Gee, why
You know
would
what they
do
probably
that?
said? It probably blows.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
That's all I got right now.
Way to go, Fast Eddie Z.
That's all I got right now.
Doc, I want to interject here. We haven't talked to Doc in a long time, and the last time I talked to you, besides seeing you at Wawa tonight, you were telling me you were doing some comic stuff. Are you still doing that?
When I left the DJing thing, what happened for me was, and my wife was glad about it. It was like the third hernia did me in. The flips did me in. The slides across the floors.
Yeah, he was a crazy
did
DJ,
me in.
folks.
Pulling guys and girls out of chairs that didn't know each other, and 2 or 3 couples actually got married.
Oh, wow.
That was neat. But always had the energy to always interject, and with me, the glass was always half full, never half empty. So the thing was, I always enjoyed. I love people with like personalities, because I think one of the biggest problems today is everybody just slaps a pair of headphones in their ears, whether it be on the train or whether they're walking or whatever, and they don't get out and they don't socialize. They don't talk to people anymore. I think.
Well, it's like teenagers.
I think we've lost social skills. I really do. I think we have lost social skills, but always had a penchant for making people laugh, and I've done some amateur comedy things, and I've got some comedy friends, Lynn Koplix, I was telling Dan about earlier, and I've done some things at some friend's house and at VFW Hall and stuff like that, and one of my goals is hopefully before the end of the year, I got a friend of mine that knows the manager, hopefully I'd like to do Helium in Philadelphia.
There you go. Pretty soon he'll be able to do it in front of people.
Exactly. With the door open, which I think is going to be really cool from now on. You know, I'm like that. What was it? That Coyote Ugly girl that couldn't sing until the lights were down, and then it's.
I'll tell you right now, this room makes Coyote Ugly in a completely different light.
Oh my God!
I got news for you.
Dr. Rock is sexy, Dan.
Well, I got a funny Dr. Rock story.
Dr. Rock's in the best shape I've been in 30 years, but nothing works.
Funny Dr. Rock story. We used to DJ at a local bar in this area. I'm not going to mention names or anything like that.
I think I know.
And
I think I do too.
Yes.
And
Smoke-free now.
one night,
good.
yeah. And one night, I stopped by there. It was an off night that I was not working there, and Dr. Rock was there. And Dr. Rock's thing was, me and Rob and Rock used to always talk about this, is that, you know, we years ago made the switch over to digital, and we were on the laptops and stuff like that. And Rock's like, you know what? I'm going to hold out. I love to have the discs. I love to have it in my hand. I like tangible things. And he goes on and on. He gets very passionate about it, and God bless him, he does that, right? So the one night I go out there, I said, let me go visit Dr. Rock. And he's got his wife out there, and he's got other friends out there. And I stop in, and he's like, oh, Danny J's here. And Dr. Rock's ready he looks like he's ready to be on like American Gladiator, because he has like knee pads on and everything. He's like ready to go, right? Because Dr. Rock does a lot of dancing, did a lot of stuff. So
Very interactive.
he goes, very interactive. It's very, it was like interactive before there was like interactive TV and stuff like that. So he's in there, and I'm bouncing around talking to people, because I DJ at this place as well, and he goes to play We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off.
Yeah.
Remember that
Jermaine Stewart.
Jermaine Stewart, right?
We don't
have to take out. Now I gotta do it now.
So he plays. He goes to play it, right? And all of a sudden,
Did he start stripping?
the disc starts skipping.
Oh, I think I
Yes,
remember
it
this
did.
story.
It did.
The disc starts skipping. He's like,
remember this
"Hey, I'm sorry, guys. Dr. Rock's going to, perform a little surgery here." Blah blah. I don't know what the fuck he said, but he said something right. And it was funny, and he went into another song. But then he's like, "I'm going to bring that song back," because he really wanted to play that song. So he brings it on the second time, and the second time, right at the same spot, doesn't that disc skip again? So he's like, oh, everybody's like, oh, what the fuck, Rock? What are you doing?
That's
Blah,
right.
blah,
So
blah,
everybody's
right?
standing around going, God, he sucks. Let's leave.
Yeah, right.
I'm good.
So Rock's like, yeah, it's good. I got it. We're going to take care of this. I'm going to make sure this comes out. Blah, blah, blah. And he puts another song on, right? And and I said, Rock, this would be a good time to talk to you about getting into digital, like me and Rob did. Oh no, I don't need to talk about that. Ha ha ha. And we laugh about it. Blah, blah, blah. And I go about my business. And he tries it on for a fourth time. And that baby skips again.
No.
And everybody's like, what the fuck? Start cut it out with the fucking song.
Nobody said anything to Rob when he had birth control. I mean, nobody cared. All right,
Yeah.
so I played it like
Yeah.
the fourth time, and it is what it
But
is.
wait, was it the same disc?
It was the same disc.
So why would you think it's
I probably bought it from Rob, and it skipped in the same spot over and over and over and
Why
over
would you
again.
run the same
And Rob
disc?
used to tell me, only $10 for this.
Yeah.
You'll have every tune that you need. Thank God I was
And
able
I'm
to
being
talk.
as supportive as I can. I said, you know what?
Thank you, Danny
I
J.
said, it doesn't skip on my laptop. It really
Yeah. Although,
And I had a
in
friend
Ray's
of mine that
defense-
was a bouncer that
Look,
met him in
Ray,
his
I'm
car
gonna
that
stick
night.
up for you.
Yes.
In Ray's defense,
Yes, thank you.
I've had laptops hesitate. You know,
Well, they
like-
hesitate. And
Hey, I
sometimes they
remember
pick up
Rob
the
doing a
recording.
wedding with a laptop, a friend of mine, and Rob decided not to bring his cord one night for the laptop.
Oh, God.
Oh my God! I think we were doing like mimes and comedy routines and like.
No, we had music going, but I
You
forgot.
had something, but it was like a
nothing.
backup kind of a thing with
That's
no
nothing.
cord.
I did a wedding, and the actual the bride and groom's dance, right? The first dance, the song put in there. Rob got it in the system for me and didn't confirm it. So as soon as I go to play it and everything's lovely, it skipped right over to the next song. And they're like, and they're looking at me like, this is not my song, and I'm like, yeah, I know this is not your song, and I go back and I put it back in, and it skips again, and I said,
it didn't link.
It didn't link, and I said to myself, this son of a bitch. I said, I'll kill him, right? And then, meanwhile, what's happening is it's an outdoor wedding, so we're under a tent, and 5 miles up the road is a touchdown of a Twister.
Oh my God!
Right? It was like not an F5 or something goofy, like it was like an F1 or something, like barely an F1, but it was causing all the flaps on the tent to go up and all this other stuff.
So everybody ran for cover?
They were like, yeah, that wasn't their song, you know.
Did you ever get the song working? And did they ever do the
I
first
did. I
dance?
got the song dance, and we did the first dance about 16 dances later. That's what we did, and then of course that ended my tip options for
the evening.
For the evening.
That brings to mind, because you said this is DJ After Dark, and it's kind of fun the way we're kind of kicking it around. What is one of your worst? What is one of your worst affairs, whether it be a wedding or something like that?
That one.
Like
That's the
I
worst
can
thing I
remember
ever did.
one time I was doing a wedding, and I had to. It was one of the Rob weddings, and I had to go pick up like. I remember this 2 hours of classical music because the bride wanted to play classical music, and I'm not even including the one where I did a great job and the bride didn't like my socks, but we'll talk about that one later. All right, but the thing was, this was
Better
like
than not
2
liking her
hours,
face.
2 hours of
Clapping her
classical
off.
music during dinner. So
Can you DJ from outside?
sure as shit during dinner we're playing classical music, and I'm watching people go.
Yeah,
Right.
they had to
So
wake people up.
right. So the bottom line
Wow.
is, I only had like an hour and a half left of this wedding after because I love it because this wife's like, and the bride wanted to make sure that the light came down and shined on her shoes and lit up like she was an ice skater and stuff like that. In the meantime, people are doing anything to wake up, like pulling their fillings out of
This
their
whole
mouth.
job,
Right.
she just wanted classical.
She wanted classical all through dinner and all through the whole. I had
Dancing?
to actually go to her house to pick up a CD, all right,
Oh my
of all
God.
classical. And I remember when I was done, I said to her, I said, I got an hour and a half left of your wedding. I said, I'm done with your request. I'm done with classical. I said, I'm going to do a typical Dr. Rock show, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to tell you without telling my the guy that I was working for, Rob Cannon, or somebody like that.
I never
right?
heard this story.
And I
Ted.
said to her, I said,
I wonder why.
You're
and
fired,
I did. I
Rock.
said to her, and I said, if I suck, I promise you, you don't even have to pay me for tonight. I'm done. But I said, as for putting the entire, and that's what I mean, brides.
But Rob
Sometimes
says,
there's
"Well, you
a
do have to
wedding.
pay me."
You have to remember, sometimes at a wedding, you have to remember, I did it one time, a wedding where the guy wanted nothing but Motley Crue all night long.
yeah.
And you have to know as a DJ when it's time to turn off the
I did
request.
it.
and
I
when-
did
right?
a real quick. 'Cause
Go ahead.
You're going right into it. I did a wedding. Rob and I booked it, and I did a wedding where the guy wanted nothing but Seattle sound. So that's Nirvana.
Oh my God.
That's Soundgarden, stuff like that, because that's what they like.
Yes.
And we said, well,
Numb and
you-
lithium.
well, I
That's how
said,
you would feel. Numb and lithium.
I said, well, you realize, I said, I could play that during dinner. Or something.
Right.
Yeah, we're thinking that he just likes that music. And I did rock weddings, so you know how to mix
We
it
all-
around.
yeah, you did it.
So he goes, no, that's what I want. And I'm like, well, you understand? I said, that's not going to do anything with your dance floor or whatever.
Yeah, they don't care.
He didn't care. I don't care. I said, I would
Until
never
they're
do
there.
this up front. I said, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I have complaints, I'm sending them directly to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I said this, I can't take the hit as the DJ.
Right.
Right.
Like
you
this
can't.
is
You
like
gotta
this
get out
is
of
my
the middle of
decision.
that one.
And you're creating it.
Right. And you have to
Right.
get out of the middle.
Not for anything, but our second show, which is airing next week, we're going to talk about complaints anyway, right?
Yeah, we are
We're
going to
gonna-
complain. So we'll
because we have a lot of them, and we could share a lot of them stories.
It's gonna be fun.
You know, but
we are right. We are getting. You see how Rob wrapped that up real quick? You see
that was
how
good.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was really cool.
His kid,
That was good.
It's like that
his
All,
kid
all I
sense-
know is at the end of every weekend it'd be like, and you
Well,
might
here's
say
the
that
bottom line.
Dr. Rock may have had an ego a little bit, right? Rob would call me up, just anything to just smash my bus. He would go, "You were really good. You were really good. I heard you were really good tonight, but
it
there was
used to
always
be.
that but."
But
It used to be that
because
you're,
you
as a
always
DJ,
hit people with a compliment.
it used to
Correct.
be as a DJ, the moneymaker was to do a wedding.
Yes.
Now the moneymaker is to do any one of Rob Cannon's births
Yes.
because there's just so many of them.
Right.
Yes.
It's like
a
happy
consistent
birthday.
gig.
Weren't we here last week? All right, so
Anyway.
So anyway, we got it, and we're cutting it short. I understand.
I understand.
But but you can check us out on YouTube. Go to DJB Productions. You'll see a Silverhead with headphones. Check it out. Subscribe, share it, and check it out there. Also, you'll be able to see it on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Google Play Music, Caster, Radio Box, and a number of other platforms. Which if you go on Facebook, you'll be able to check us out. My name is Danny J.
Rob Cannon.
Rob Cannon. We got Dr. Rock Ray Thomas.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
So
It was
you're
a
going to
pleasure.
come back next week, right?
Absolutely,
You
I'll
are
be
next
there.
week.
Thank you
yeah,
so
you
much.
do,
Eddie.
right?
Next week,
All
yeah.
right,
Eddie
cool.
sees
We're
my
going to talk
last
about
investment.
Is it going to be
complaints
free
next
coffee
week.
and donuts? Because I'll be
Yes.
here later.
We're going to talk about complaints too.
So we're gonna
Okay.
go- We'll meet up at Wawa.
Yes.
Good.
Bogey Fest.
Until next
Shorties.
time. Until next time.
That's Ed's nickname, Shorty.
Shorties. Shorties.
Sorry, Eddie.
That's what his wife said. Fast and shorty. Oh yeah.
That's where Fast Eddie came in.
Fast
All right,
Eddie.
let's
There
wrap
we
it up.
go. So until next time, join us again on DJs After Dark.
Looks like the sun's coming up. Was that as good for you as it was for me? Join us next time for DJs After Dark.